Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ramagee TV. For those of you that are new, I'm Ramagee and I read scary stories on the internet so you don't have to do it alone. Well, it's day 2 of my October challenge. That's one video a day for the month of October leading up to Halloween. And today we got Albert Fish. Guys, YouTube demonetized my last Jeffrey Dahmer video, of course. We all knew that it was going to get demonetized. So if you guys can please help by subscribing, sharing this video, liking and subscribing. Well, like it if you like this content. Alright guys, without further ado, I'm not going to make this one pretty long. Roll that intro. Albert Fish, the model, at least in part for Thomas Harris, fictional killer Hannibal Lecter, is perhaps the most bewildering of all serial killers. At the time of his arrest in 1934, he was 64 years old, a slightly built, mild-mannered old man with gray hair and a shabby suit. However, under the placid exterior there lurked a man of extraordinary violence. According to psychiatrists, Fish had tried to enjoy every perversion known to humanity, including eating the flesh of young children he had severely tortured and murdered. Just how many children this seemingly benevolent old man killed, we will never know. There are no more than 4 whose deaths can certainly be attributed to Fish, though at least a dozen killings, plus a large number of rapes, seem possible. Fish himself, an early example of a serial killer, claimed to have killed hundreds, with at least one murder in every state. The psychiatrists who examined him more closely believed that Fish probably committed at least 100 rapes. So what kind of background produces this monster? Albert Fish was born on May 19, 1870. His father, Randall Fish, was a boat captain operating on the Potomac River. Albert's given name was Hamilton Fish, apparently in honor of a family link with Washington's entire Hamilton family. So this was a respectable, relatively well-off world that Albert Fish was born into. All this changed, however, when his father died in 1875. His mother had to find a job and put Albert, age 5, into an orphanage. It was there, in response to teasing from the other boys, that he started to call himself Albert. More seriously, it was where he acquired a lifelong taste for sadomasochism. After the regular bare-bottom wipings he received, he became a persistent bedwetter who regularly ran away from the orphanage. When he was 9, his mother removed him. Albert left school at age 15. He soon found he was a very able painter and decorator, and he followed this trade for the rest of his life, drifting from town to town as he did so. By 1898, he had married, settled in New York, and fathered 6 children. Fish himself claimed that he committed his first murder during this period, killing a man in Delaware in 1910. However, most people, including his children, dated his descent into madness from the time his wife left him, running off with a barter in 1917. Thereafter, he appeared to suffer from hallucinations. He would take his children to a summer house in Winchester where he would climb a hill, shake his fist at the sky and declare himself to be Christ, before asking his children to beat him. He became obsessed with the pain, driving needles into his groin and inserting fabric into his anus before setting it on fire. Eventually, his oldest son had enough of his father's demented behavior and threw him out of the family house. Fish was regularly arrested, sometimes for vagrancy, sometimes for petty theft, and sometimes for indulging in one of his most favorite perversions, sending obscene letters to women. Each time, he would be examined, pronounced peculiar but harmless, and tossed back into the community. Exactly how many murders and rapes he committed during the 1920s and early 1930s, we will never know. However, it was one case in particular that ensured both his notoriety and his downfall. At the beginning of June 1928, He noticed an advertisement in the newspaper from Edward Budd, an 80-year-old looking for a job in the countryside. Fish answered the adverb, arriving at the impoverished Budd household in the gaze of Frank Howard, a farmer from Long Island who was looking for a willing worker. Despite Mr. Howard's rather shabby appearance, he was a well-spoken man, and the Budd family were happy to believe in him as a benefactor, especially when he handed out dollars to the other children. On meeting the rest of the family, Fish decided against abducting the burly Edward and instead focused his attention on 12-year-old Grace. He persuaded the family to let him take her to a children's party that his sister was holding. That was the last time the family saw her. Fish took Grace to the deserted summer house in Winchester. Then he strangled her, dismembered her body, and over a period of 9 days, ate as much of the body as he could, before burying her bones behind his house. A huge manhunt was launched, but without success. It was only the determination of one man, Detective Will King, that kept the case alive. Even so, he might never have gotten his man if Fish had not succumbed to the urge of bragging about his crime. In 1934, he sent the Budds a letter telling them exactly what happened to their daughter. This vile act led to his downfall. The envelope Fish used had a distinctive logo that eventually led Detective King to the New York Flophouse. There, he finally came face to face with Albert Fish. On being challenged, Fish lunged at King with a straight razor, but King overpowered and arrested him. He was also responsible for the killing of 4-year-old Billy Gaffney in 1929 and 5-year-old Francis McDonald in 1934. The only question was whether his defense of not guilty by reason of insanity would be accepted. Fish was, as several psychiatrists pronounced, fairly obliviously mad. The jury, eager for his heinous crimes to be punished, rejected the insanity defense and found Fish guilty. He was sentenced to death by electrocution, a fate he positively relished. He was executed at Sing Sing prison on January 16, 1936. It took 2 attempts to kill him. Legend has it that the electric chair failed the first time due to it short-circuiting by the large number of nails Fish had embedded into his body over the years. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. That was Albert Fish. Again, guys, YouTube's demonetizing these videos, which I know they're going to demonetize all of them because it's serial killers. But again, YouTube, I'm doing this for educational purposes, just to inform all of YouTube, not all of YouTube, whoever watches my video. And if you guys can just please share this video, subscribe to the video, because only 2.2% of you are subscribed out of 100. Like the video if you do like this content. If not, or if you just didn't like this video, let me know what I can do to change your mind and fix my videos so I can start making better videos for all of you. Also, I do have a Twitch channel. It's linked in the description down below, and I have a Twitter if you guys want to reach out. And I think I'm going to start reacting to scary TikToks or funny TikToks, try not to laugh TikToks type of content reactions, and hopefully you guys enjoy those too. But until next time, guys, sweet dreams.